special Flosstube episode. In my last episode, I promised that I would go through my stash, my pattern stash, and before me here, you can't see it, is a surprisingly tall pile of patterns. Admittedly, there's a cardboard box in it. I'm going to use that as an excuse for the height of it, but I'm really excited to go through all of this. I have it very loosely organised. The top of the pile is patterns that I have completed. They were the easiest to separate. Next up are either the patterns that I had bought for my partner or that I'm not sure I want to stitch. And I think there's a kit in there that is just straight up not mine. But it was in my box, so it's getting shown. Next up are the patterns that I am actively stitching, actively intend to stitch, or like I'm just quite happy to keep in the collection. And then I'm going to finish up with my fancy ladies because that makes up the largest portion of my stash. I'll be starting with Mirabilias, not Mirabilias, I'll be starting with the Bella Filipinas, the Nora Corbetts, and then I'm going to go through my Mirabilias newest first, working back so that we finish the video with some of the old out of print Mirabilias because I think that would be a fun way to do it. Yeah, let's get started, I suppose. First up is Jardin Privé, Love is Where the Shepherd Is. This, if you remember, is a piece that I customized for my cousin's wedding when I was her maid of honor. I changed the alphabet to the couple's names. I finished the pattern. I did actually write on it. Like you can see, that was the date of the wedding. So it has been marked up. This is something I'll probably just try to de-stash because I know I won't stitch it again. I bought it for a specific purpose. Next up is Luhu Stitches Fluffed. Very cute little sheep pattern. I saw somebody else had stitched this at the Nobam retreat. I don't remember who. I don't know if I knew who. Yeah, that was a really cute one. I liked it. When I was stitching this, I actually didn't do the border and the flowers. And I half wonder if I should like stitch it again and do the border or something. I don't know. Next up is Elizabeth's Needlework Designs Antique Celtic Sampler, or as I called it, Here There Be Monsters. I had an absolute blast stitching this. There's a little bit of pencil writing on the pattern where I changed the date from 2013 to 2020, but other than that, like I didn't mark it up with highlighter or anything. Very fun. Okay, so those are actually the 3 patterns that were in my stash that I had finished. Setting them to the side for now. Next up is my maybe pile. Maybe it doesn't belong to me, maybe I don't want to stitch it, maybe I'll get rid of it. First up is a Joan Elliott dragon. A friend of mine was de-stashing their craft room, and they're not actually a cross stitcher. It was just something she'd picked up as a maybe I will do this one day, and then didn't. My partner called dibs on this. However, if I expressed that I really wanted to stitch it, I'm sure he wouldn't mind that if I stitched it. It is a kit. It comes with the threads, the 14 count Ada, and the beads. It's quite a nice dragon. Next up, some of these are kits and I've just taken out the front pictures of them just to make things easier. This is Wolf by Dimensions Gold Collections Petites. I bought this, I think, with the intent of stitching it for my brother. I have seen it finished and it looks fantastic. It looks really good. It's on 18 count. It's actually quite a compact design. It is 5 inches by 7 inches when stitched, and it really looks great. It's really detailed. Why this is in the maybe pile though is I think there's a lot of confetti, there's probably a lot of blends, there might be some like fractional stitches, and it's just a maybe because it'll be a middling difficulty stitch, and I'm just not sure if I want want to stitch it, I might check in with my brother and ask, be like, hey, is this something you want? Because if he says yeah, then I will stitch it, and it will probably be a 2023, 2024 Christmas present. But otherwise, I might see about destashing it. I've made a tiny start. If I have put 10 stitches into that, I'd be shocked. Next up is Heritage Crafts. Happiness is bed shaped. And I'm very conflicted about this because while I love the little cat in the bed and I think it's so cute, and I actually made an attempt at starting it on like a lilac even weave rather than the scratchy edges that came with it. But it is so full of fractional stitches. It's not even funny. And while it's a lot easier to do that on an even weave rather than an Ada, I don't know if I like it enough to want to put myself through all those fractional stitches. Don't know. A friend in a cross-stitching Discord server has said that if I want to destash it, she will buy it off me. Good to know. Next up is Dragon Dreams Fairy Tale Sampler. It's going to be kind of hard to see. It's got some text. Once upon a time is how most fairy tales first start. An Ada questing maiden, or a knight so pure of heart. Sometimes there is a treasure, princely frog or magic blade, dangers to be conquered or long journeys to be made. Yet strength and courage triumph, to the enemy's chagrin. The questing soul discovers that the hero lies within. That's a really lovely rhyme, and I really like the pattern. I love at the top the castle with the mountains. I love those kind of pastel moody colours. I just don't know what I would do with it when I finished it. It feels very much the kind of thing you would stitch and put up in a child's nursery or a young child's bedroom. I don't have kids. If I stitched it myself, like I enjoy fantasy novels, so you know it's not a million miles away from my interests, but I don't know. I even bought a lovely lilac-y blue pinky fabric for it, and then never started it. No, it was like a lavendery mauvey colour. I think it's even called Fairy Tales by Sparkly Designs. So obviously I had great intentions at one stage. Speaking of great intentions, this is And a Forest Grew by Rosewood Manor. This is something that I had admired for a while. I still think it is beautiful. I love all the trees. I still think that it would be very fun to stitch. It could be like a mini finish every time you finish a tree. The finished design would be 420 stitches by 200 stitches. No fabric size given. I could calculate it, but I can't do it off the top of my head. But that is a giant piece of fabric. I have seen other people working on it. They do suggest that you can use some of the motifs on smaller items, and I think if I decided I wasn't going to stitch the whole thing, I would do some of the smaller motifs, gift them, display these little ornaments in my home. But another reason, aside from the size of this piece, is that something quite similar is I think it's Enchanted Forest by Isle Forest Embroidery, and I like it better. It has cute animals. I know this has some animals, but I just prefer the Isle Forest piece better, and they're both similar enough that I wouldn't want both of them. So after all that, I think I'm unlikely to stitch the whole piece of this, but I will probably pick out some of my favourite motifs and turn them into ornaments. Okay, that's a decision. Next up is a Farm Fresh by Cottage Country Charts. Cottage Country Needleworks. I think this is cute. I won it in a raffle. Nothing wrong with it. I just don't know if I'll ever stitch it. I think it's very cute though. It'll be nice, a nice little piece to do stitch and like display in a kitchen. So it's a maybe. Next up, I don't really know why I bought this. This is Blossom House by Little Stitch Girl. It's cute. I think why I bought it was I was seeing a lot of houses stitched on Flosstube. And like looking at it, this is a very cute little house. I love the little archway with the flowers on it. It would be small, it would be quite an easy stitch. Again, I don't know what I'd do with it when I finished it. Sorry, I'm just looking at it. This comes with multiple pages, but I'm like, this is small enough that it doesn't need... Oh, they're not double-sided, okay. Not sure what I'll do with this, to be honest. Next up, I got this kit quite a while ago, I think. It is a Dimensions Twilight silhouette, and it comes on a navy Ada. I haven't actually started this. Don't know why there's a big tear in the top. I am unsure on this one. Like, I think it's a cool design. The moon is really cool, and I'm sure it would look great stitched. And I like fairies, but I just don't know if I love it enough. Which I think in a hobby where designs take such a long time to stitch, like this would be 14 by 11 inches on 14 count. Doesn't give a stitch count. Like that would take a while to stitch. That's on a dark fabric. It's on navy, so all the black, all the silhouettes have to be stitched. I don't know. It's not something I am certain enough that I want to get rid of. But I don't know what I want to stitch it either. Next is a Riolis kit. I don't think it has a name. It is a fox. It's very cute. It came on that, like the background colour you see is the colour of Ada that came with it. 14 count Ada. Why I stopped stitching on this was I started it and I was working down this side. Why I stopped was it comes with wool and acrylic blend yarn, and it felt very odd. It was like quite fluffy to work with, and I wasn't loving it. But so that's why it's in the maybe pile. But I really like the design. The fox's face is very cute, and I love how the colours stand out against that blue-grey background. So I think this is something that I will possibly return to in the future. I just wanted to have a little gripe about the wool, I think. Next up is Harbingers by Whispered by the Wind. This is in this pile because I bought it for my partner, not for me. So it should really get out of my pattern box and go to wherever he keeps his stuff. Next up, Shannon Christie Designs Tea Break. I think this is a cute little design. It's the kind of thing I could stitch it and hang it above our little tea and coffee station. It's likely to get stitched. It's just a low priority. Oh boy, I have feelings about this next one. This is DMC, Good Things Come to Those Who Bake. I know I have stitched all the words, and I think I've stitched the top tier and maybe half the second tier. I discussed this in the channel before and did receive some good advice, like maybe moving it off the Ada that I don't love. Ultimately, I don't think I like it enough to finish it. I'm not sure if I passed it on to someone, they would have to be okay with it coming a large portion of it stitched. I've been kind of reluctant to admit that I don't want to stitch it, but my tastes have changed. I bought this 7 years ago. It's fine. Next is Margaret Sherry Catitudes. I'm not fat, I'm fluffy. I think this is really cute. I won it in the tombola at the Essex Needle, or not the Essex Needle, at the Nobam retreat in October. And this is the final item in the maybe pile. And why it is here is because while I think this is very cute, I do have a friend who wants to start cross stitching. I'm giving her my white and cream 14 count Ada. I just think this would be a really cute beginner design. I do realise actually now that it comes on a 28 count even weave. So I might tell her, don't start it on the fabric that comes in the kit. Start it on one of the 14 counts that I gave you. But I just think it'd be really nice to pass on this little kit. Yeah, I think she'd like it. Okay, that was the maybe pile. We are on to the good stuff. I hope. This is Bayern Cash by Isle Forest Embroidery. I love this piece. I need to go back to it. I need to give it some love. I need to work on it. I had originally thought at the start of this year that I'd get it done this year. Not happening. But yeah, I don't have an excuse. It needs to be worked on. Next is Dimensions Gold Collection, A Kiss for Santa. I picked this up relatively recently. It was in the same order that I bought the Year of Flowers by the Draw and Thread. I just forgot to show it in the video. I'd had my eye on this for a couple of years actually, and had been putting off picking it up. And eventually I caved. It was really cheap actually. I think it was like €12, something like that. I really like it. I'll show my progress in my next video. I've stitched the snowman's face. There's a lot of blends. It's on a white Ada 18 count, which was really starchy and it felt horrible to touch. I felt like it was like sucking the moisture out of my hands. So I washed it before I started on it, and it is a lot less horrible to work with now. But yeah, A Kiss for Snowman. It's just so cute. It's lovely. Next up is a Dimensions kit that I got from Teresa Little Stitcher's D-Stash back in March. Music is harmony. In music there is harmony. In harmony there is peace. I think that is so lovely. I'll stitch it not on the cream 80 that comes with it, but probably on some nice parchmenty coloured linen or even weave, and it'll be lovely. Very nice. Next up, Design Works. Does it have a name? Frog Pile. What a good name for it. I love this. Love. I even bought a pale green even weave for it to go on. It actually comes with some of the threads. And lady, I got this in a D-Stash and she had included the leftover threads. I don't think it'll be enough to stitch it again. But anyone I've shown this design to has just gone, this is so fun. So yeah, not my usual style, but the colours just, it's really happy design. Next we are getting into some of the smaller charts. I'm just going to take them on my lap. This is Plum Street Samplers Hedgerow. That's quite a small picture. I hope you can see it. I love hedgehogs. I honestly forgot that I'd owned this until I was making a list of all my patterns a while ago. I will stitch it. I will make it into a little pillow. It will go with the rest of my hedgehogs on the hedgehog shelf. Oh, it even calls for DMC and 2 classic colorworks. Very doable. Very cute, very small. I don't know when I'll start this. I'm not going to make predictions on when I'll start stuff here. This is Stitching with the Housewives, Buzz of the Bees. And why I picked this one, there are a couple of reasons. I like bees, I like yellow, and my granny, she used to keep chickens. So I want to have this stitched as a way of remembering her, and just visiting, and we'd run down the field to see the chickens, and I used to try to pet them. I could never catch one because they would run away. Those poor chickens. But yeah, I will stitch this someday, probably on a blue, on a sky blue. Next up is another hedgehog pattern. This is Owl Forest Embroideries Hedgehog Meadow. Very cute. I am in no real urgency to stitch this. I bought this at the same time as I bought Bay and Cat. Yeah, that's about it. I bought it because it was a hedgehog pattern and I like hedgehogs. I'm so easy to please. These two are part of the same series. This is Cottage Garden Samplings, the Songbirds Garden series. This is Joy, Sing for Joy. Very pretty, love the pink. And then this is Autumn Dream. They're both lovely. I don't love all of the pieces in this series, but I'll stitch the ones I like. And maybe even if I stitched like 3, that could be a cute little, is it a triptych? What do you call it when there's like 3 related images displayed like side by side? Maybe there's not a word for it. Maybe I'm making this up. I don't know. That's actually quite a good idea. I just need to find. Oh, it's cute. This is a house finch with cone flowers. This is the tufted titmouse with bittersweet. That's cute. Didn't realise it gave the bird and flower names. This is Hands-on Design Harvest Chalkful. I think it's very cute, again, because I like yellow, and I really wanted to try stitching something on that kind of chalkboard fabric. Slate by Fabrics by Stephanie. It can be very cute. Don't know how I'd finish it or where I'd put it. Could be nice on a little cushion, actually. And it could come out, I don't know, the yellows make me think like spring or summer, but harvest is autumn time. I don't know. I love the notion. A friend of mine sent me a picture of a little autumnal thing she had stitched, and she has a little seasonal corner. So they're pine cones, they're little toadstool salt and pepper shakers, but they like had little pumpkins on them, and then a little like basket of flowers and greenery, and it was so nice. I genuinely thought it was something out of a magazine. So now I am just enamored with the idea of a seasonal corner, and like you can swap out the flowers or the decorations, and of course the cross stitch piece that goes in the seasonal corner. I think it'd be so lovely. This one is Water Hazard by Ink Circles. I like this series because it's the bad neighborhoods. They look like cute little houses, and then you realize, what's that coming out of the stream, strangling a bird? And they all have something weird or unsavory going on in them. Like, it's funny. This is Dragon Queen by Blackberry Rabbit. I love this, and looking at the back, I'm genuinely surprised by how short that floss list is. I love this. It's rare that I buy something and then still love it. Buy something, not start it, and then still love it just as much. This might even be like 2 years later. I think I bought this 2020. I just think it is fantastic. Oh, I love it. I love the colours. It's lovely, and it deserves a really like beautiful gilded heavy frame. Beautiful. Taking the next pile onto my lap. This is Welcome Autumn by the Drawn Thread. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll remember that I did Welcome Winter last year. Really enjoyed it. This is Welcome Autumn. I'll get around to it. If I do actually go ahead with my seasonal corner, that'd be a cute little... I framed winter. And it goes in my hallway actually. Because obviously you welcome people as they come into their home, your home. This is Blackberry Lane Designs, Frosty Weather. Very cute little piece. I don't know if I'd make it an ornament or a cushion or what I would do with it. But he's cute. Excuse me. Next up is Ink Circles Spring Snow. I love this. I love the green fabric choice. Matches my nails. But I think it's lovely. Really, really nice. Another Drawn Thread one. Deck the Halls. I love cardinals. I forgot what they were called for a moment, and I really hope I've gotten the right name. Yeah, I just think this is lovely. I quite like Drawn Thread patterns. I've realised I've started kind of collecting them almost. Next up, this almost went in the maybe pile. Gold Collection Petites Elegant Geisha. But then I decided, no, she will be finished. And it's because I know she will be beautiful once stitched. Like the metallics and the colours and the half stitches in the background. She deserves a finish. She deserves to go in my pretty lady category, to be honest. It might be slow going. She might be finished years after I started her, and she's not even that big. But, you know, we'll get there. I'll get there. Next up, some more recent patterns. Barn Owl and October 31st, again by Cottage Garden Samplings. Ta-da! I talked about these in my last video. I actually received some great ideas on like replacing the stars with leaves or pumpkins. They're really great ideas. I'm going to consider that. I'm gonna kind of try charting it out and see what they look like. In the Woods, I picked this up at the Essex Needle Stitch and Chat. Some patterns in the book. Very cute. Another Drawn Thread. This is Year of Flowers. I don't know why the pictures are so small. It is impossible to get a good picture. Even online, like I can find that picture online, but it is tiny. Why? Why does it do that? Yeah, making great progress on that. Hunter Gatherer, my Sampler September piece by Rosewood Manor. Love, love, love it. This is a pattern that I had kind of forgotten about for a while, and it wasn't until I was reorganizing my stash that I found it and went, oh yeah, I really want to stitch this. This is Night Walked Down by The Blue Flower. I love it. I have a pink fabric that it's been done on. I think it's like truffle. So it's like a pink, browny pink colour, if that makes any sense. I must get back to this because I love it. I don't remember why I stopped. This next one, I don't really know why I included this because I'm going through my physical patterns and I can't show you this. This is Dark Queen of the Seas by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I'm sure you all know what that looks like. Yeah, I have it in my stash. I think I just wanted to mention that I have it. We are now on to the pretty ladies. We're getting there, people, but look how many are in this. We'll go quick, we'll get through it. This is Lakapati by Bella Filipina. You've seen this a lot on my channel. Gaia, the Earth Goddess by Bella Filipina. I have her all kitted up. Well, I have, when I say I have her kitted up, I have the DMC and fabric. And obviously the pattern. Next up, this was my first Bella Filipina, Enchantress of the Abyss. She's not one of my favorites, but I was, at the time, searching regularly on Facebook, just cross-stitch. To find anyone who was de-stashing stuff. I was trying to find probably DMC. And I saw a lady selling this, and I was really like, oh, that's so cool. Because I'd seen Mirabilias. I probably, had I started Andromeda? I feel like this is older than my Andromeda whip. This might have been my first fancy lady. And she just stood out. I still really want to stitch her. I love the kind of, it doesn't show up great in the picture, but she's holding a something. Deep sea treasures, according to the little text down here. Luring seafarers to be her lover. But it's really colourful. It almost looks like flowers. But it doesn't really make sense for there to be flowers in the ocean. Don't know. My two Nora Corbetts, Capricorn, and Dewdrops. Okay, those are the non-Mira fancy ladies. We are on to Mirabilia, and as I mentioned all the way back at the start, I am going in reverse chronological order. So I'm starting with Lilith of Labrador, MD 167. Very cool. I have the DMC. I had a blue fabric for her. I still have it. But now I'm questioning if I want to do it on that or if I want to do it on a darker blue. Perhaps Gothic by Picture This Plus. We'll see. Next, Cathedral Woods Goddess, MD 164. Very cool. She was one of the first Mirabilias I bought, actually. I haven't bought anything for her. I'd bought a green that I had intended to use for her and then ended up using it for Andromeda instead. I've seen a lot of people stitch her and I've seen a lot of recolors and they're very cool, and I'm very torn on what I want to do with her. Next, Andromeda, MD 149. I only have the picture down with me, but like, you've seen her. Persephone, my brother got me this for Christmas last year, MD 127. Very cool. I'm still not 100% certain on what fabric to do her on. Don't know. Now we are into the out of prints. This is MD 92, the South Seas Mermaid. Very cool. I have seen her stitched once, I think. Unless I'm misremembering, I've seen her stitched once, and she is so incredibly sparkly down the side of her tail. She is fantastic. Next up is the duo of Maidens of the Seasons part 1 and 2. I have the DMC kitted for part 1. I think I have all of it kitted for part 1, all the DMC kitted for part 1. And I haven't touched part 2 yet because there is no need to. It will be years before I finish spring and summer and get on to autumn and winter. Not gonna lie, these are probably some of my most cherished patterns out of my entire stash. I love them. Next up is Spring Queen, MD 34. I have seen, I like yellow. Yellow is my favorite color. But her dress is a very pale butter yellow. And I have seen a very lovely white conversion of her dress, which I have kind of saved on my computer. And whenever I eventually decide to stitch her, I think I might almost do her on a rich yellow fabric and stitch her in white. But I don't need to decide that for probably years, to be honest. Next is Deco Spirits MD19, one of the early Mirabilias. Very cool. This is all still in the plastic. Oh, I've been talking a lot if I can't think of the word for plastic. Next is the Kiss MD12, one of very few Mirabilias with a man in it. Oh, I think the other ones might be Santa Claus. Oh, I can't think of any other men in her pieces. I did see there was a Ask Me Anything, like an interview thread on Reddit a few years ago, and somebody asked would she design more men. And I remember being really amused by her response, because it was something along the lines of like, can the men also wear ball gowns? Because if not, not interested. And it was just a fun little insight that she likes the the colours, the bling, the big dresses. You know, it's fun. This one, the Dreamer MD number 8. Oh, remember I was given this at the Essex Needle Retreat in September, the Stitchy Day or Stitchy Weekend, and oh, I love her. I still can't decide what fabric to do her on. I have all the DMC kitted up. I have gone off the dark blue. A couple of people said they think it wouldn't be great, and I kind of agree. I might do her on like a really pale grey or something like that. I still want some kind of dreamy, sleepy fabric. Oh, she's so hard to put on fabric. And then last, but certainly not least, the picture doesn't stay in it because it's a square. This is Christmas Elegance MD number 6. I love her. Oh my god, she's beautiful. Don't quite know what I'd stitch her on. The fabric they've chosen is actually pretty decent. If I could find a similar petrol blue, she stitched an antique blue linen by Witchelt. Don't know if they still do it. They might, or surely they do something similar. Oh, I really love her. I love her expression. I don't know if that comes through on what you can see. But oh, I love the colours. I love how like her dress is designed to look almost like satiny. Oh, it's beautiful. And that is that. Whew. I need to sleep after that, or to stitch. I surely have enough to be stitching. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought. I had a lot of fun going.